Good morning. Welcome to this daily divination ceremony that has been specially curated for neurodivergent black sheep cycle breaking queerdos. We are asking the question, where does our attention need to be today in order to bring the most expansion in our relationship with our life and our practice? My name is Jen Marie. I am an initiated high priestess and sorceress of chaos, witch-born of shadow. I wrote the Grimoire of the Ungovernable and founded an international resource center for neurodivergent witches. We launched an app a few years ago, and we are pushing nearly 1,000 witches all up in there. Making connections and establishing systems of mutual aid and sharing information all over the world. It's amazing. If you don't know what I'm talking about, that sucks for you. I have, for those of you that don't know, I live on an 80-acre homestead, a 200-year-old with a 200-year-old farmhouse and barn and everything. And I am adjusting to my summer schedule, which is different because there's so much going on outside. We are putting in the hugelkultur beds to plant the food forest. We're turning the whole front lawn of the farmhouse into a food forest that is going to be self-sustaining. Anyway, it's a lot of work initially because it's massive. It's like the yard is over 100 feet long and 30 feet wide. It's very large. And so slowly but surely we're picking away at it. But here's the thing. My body, I have MCAS and POTS. And so I have to be very careful with the sun because my body responds like I'm allergic to the sun. I jokingly say that I have skin like the undead, but it's kind of a thing. So I generally, I can't be out in the sun, working, even with sunscreen and hats and everything like that. It's really intense. So I now get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and head right out to the garden and work on the garden for an hour or two, and then come inside when it starts to warm up, nap, and then I go back out after sunset and work on the garden. So I've already shoveled. This is a very long way of saying that I have already hand shoveled over 2 yards of compost this morning. Like, an entire truck bed full all by myself. And, that's gonna be my world for the foreseeable future for the summer, which is great because we are growing the food that we are going to be feeding our community as they come to Weird Brook for connection and rehabilitation. So it's very much worth it. The dinner that we're going to have in September, we do an immersion every new moon where we have witches from the coven come and stay for a few days, and we do a new moon ritual together, which is so much fun because our new moon rituals are dance related. And anyway, that's all I'm going to say. So, we're the one that we're gonna have in September, our goal is for all of the food that we are presenting at this harvest dinner be grown here at Weird Brook, which I love. I think that is so amazing as we, like, march our way toward, food sovereignty. Yeah, I can't wait for September. So there. Good morning. It's Friday, right? How's your Friday going so far? Yeah, I also have hypermobile Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. So as I'm doing all of the vigorous work, I'm doing it at a very slow and intentional pace. The year, I think it's been a little over a year of physical therapy has made a huge difference with my relationship with being super bendy. And so I'm being very mindful as I'm doing all of those shovels, but I am getting so buff, guys, just so you know. I am getting so strong. I am doing things that I haven't done since I was in my 30s. And I know that those of us toeing the threshold of cronehood are like, "Whoa, girl, calm down." We know what happens when we forget that we're not in our 30s anymore. But again, I pace myself and I mind my sensory load. I don't work with loud equipment. I know it's strange, but like Morgana does the tractor work and the loud equipment stuff. But that I just can't do it. I actually mow the lawn with one of those old, like, blade mowers, which I love. If you also have issues with loud noises, but kinda like the sound of blades going it is I really like using those, like, those push mowers. Anyway, so I'm very mindful of how I do things. Not just because it's a part of my magical practice, but it's also a part of me being a good advocate for my body and minding my edges. Ah. Morgana and I do a good job of balance on the homestead, the systems that we take care of, like, it's a very tidy, like, fit, very compatible. Congratulations, Helvy. Happy Friday. All right, let's see what today has in store for us. Um, I know that physically today, I have a lot going on. Uh, there are a lot of really cool things that have recently launched within this international community that we serve. Uh, so that's really cool what's going on there, but I'm going to be up in the woods. There's 50 acres of woods behind the farmhouse, and that's where I'm getting the raw materials for the garden beds, the hugelkultur beds. So I'm going to be spending my day playing in the woods, collecting sticks. I know. It's like every witch's favorite thing to do in the whole world, but that's what I'm doing today. And where does our attention need to be? Right? Yeah, my favorite place is I am definitely a woods forest by a stream or a brook. Kind of that's my happy place, is that, like, on the edge of water. And the ocean is a terrible sensory experience for me. My autism comes flying out when I go to the ocean. It's just loud and sticky and it's sandy and it's like my kryptonite. Bring me to the woods and I'm bouncing off the trees, but take me to the ocean and I'm just like, it's all that direct sunlight, no shade, nowhere to go. It's dangerous. Okay, circle back, Jen. Did I mention I have raging ADHD? It's the reason why you relate to me. I'm going to take 3 deep breaths, and then I'm going to do the ceremony that I do to get my system prepared for divination so that I can get the clearest interpretation of the cards that we're about to pull. Okay? If you have any questions at all, feel free to ask them in the comments. Ocean is our mod god today. So thank you, Ocean. And I don't believe we have any Voice of God announcements today, so it's all up to me. Oh, before we get started, guess what? Guess what? So I believe oh yeah. So there have been so many witches pouring into the courtyard. The courtyard is that free and public app space that I was talking about. And you'll hear us say this a lot. We don't want your money. We want you. We want you. There's lots of programs and things that you could get involved in if you're wanting that kind of attention. If you think of Bright and Dark Center like a deeper mystery school, depending on what you're wanting to do, there's a lot going on. And so what we have done is Silver, who is one of the unbound witches of Bright and Dark, we call them the professor of myth and magic. Silver has offered to be able to sit with whoever needs help figuring out where they fit in the huge ecosystem that is the resource center. You can schedule a 15-minute like alignment call so that you can ask all of the questions that you very much should be asking when you are engaging in groups, right? So that you can see if this space is in alignment with your ethics, with your path. Do we vibe? So that you can like know what you're investing your mental and emotional labor into, right? So yeah, you can meet with Silver, our professor, and we'll get that sorted for you. But that's not everything. Like I said, there's so many things that are happening. So you know how since January I started reading my grimoire, the Grimoire of the Ungovernable, which outlines the path of a witch born of shadow, which is the tradition that our coven practices. It is specially curated for neurodivergent black sheep cycle breaking queerdos. Wrote a book about it. So I've been reading it live because I want it as accessible as possible. And what we've been doing is that I'll read it and for an hour, and then we just have a conversation and we talk, and everyone there can ask questions about it. And it's what's really cool is the other Unbound Witches have been coming as well, so you're able to ask questions from people that have been practicing this tradition for a minimum of 3.5, 4 years. So it's been amazing, and I just finished reading the grimoire last week. We made it all the way through. Well, in that time, I've actually written a second edition because so much has happened since I wrote the grimoire, right? It's a living tradition. And so we've been like, so what are we going to do? Well, I decided I want to read it all over again because I really like being able to spend that time with you. I don't get to be as involved as I want to be in, again, this massive ecosystem that we have uh, with this international community. And so we're gonna start all over again, and that is starting in June. But here's the thing: is we're gonna be doing it every Wednesday. So instead of just 2 Wednesdays a month, every Wednesday there is a free and public space that you're going to be able to come to. I'll do the live reading and we'll be able to have a conversation and hang out for an hour. It'd be really fun. The whole thing is going to take 2 hours. So read for an hour and then hang out for an hour. It's another great space for you to come and ask all of the questions. Any question that you would have about even the whole organization that we've got going on that is like run by a matriarchy or in a matriarchal fashion. So yeah, that's happening starting in June. Very cool. Let's do this. Oh, I love that, Helby. You've longed for a community like this? You are not alone, man. You are not alone. That's why we've put so much work into bringing this into this physical reality. And it's established. This is something we've been doing for years and years and years and years. We are just now like really opening up and kind of recruiting, really, now that we've got all of this foundation set up for us to really be able to help. And we also uh, just started the process of getting our coven federally recognized as a religious nonprofit, as a church. So we've also got that. So we're kind of everywhere, and that's another reason why we are recruiting. Okay. I think that might be a record for the longest. I have just like rambled on at the beginning of a divination ceremony. To be fair, I have been like pretty locked up on the farm. So it's pretty great to have a captive audience, you know. I've been doing a lot of thinking and circle back. Here we go. I humbly invite all that is fire within this system to witness this working. And if alignment is found, may you choose to bless this flow. I humbly invite all that is air within this system to witness this working. And if alignment is found, may you choose to bless this flow. I humbly invite all that is earth within this system to witness this working. And if alignment is found, may you choose to bless this flow. I humbly invite all that is water within this system to witness this working. And if alignment is found, may you choose to bless this flow. I beckon to this system. May we now align as one. For my cousins are the elements, and so the moon and sun. I call to those who love me. You are welcome in this space. For our nature is united, sharing magic, life, and grace. And now we make a declaration of intention. I choose now, in this moment, to align with my whole self. To pull the book that tells my story from its place upon the shelf. I enter now this circle made of trust and hope and power. And I show up for my practice in this place and at this hour. Because I am home. The downside to rambling on like that is that my tea water gets cold and it doesn't like brew. Like, look how pale that is. It's okay. You guys are into it, right? All right. And again, where does our attention need to be today in order to bring the most expansion in our relationship with our life and our practice? Lady Dynamite. I think I missed some of the conversation. The kind of magic, the approach to magic that we have, the magic we are engaging with at its core is through connection, right? Rather than control. So when you cultivate a relationship with connection, and then you get a bunch of witches together that have done that same work of cultivating this like relationship of connection with their environment and themselves and everything. What ends up happening is those witches become very connected. It's almost like a hive mind. And this is something that we have firsthand experience with. It happens within this international community that I'm talking about, this coven of witches. There is an initiation into this coven, but it's that initiation process that helps you remember who you are so that you can self-actualize within a community, which is a different way of engaging with life. And that makes it to where distance, and it doesn't matter so much. Yes, when we are physically together, it's hard to describe how impactful that is when we actually are able to share like physical location. It's why we got Weird Brook. It's why we have this homestead, so that we have a space for all of us to come together in person when we need that connection, that in-person connection. But we're able to do profound things from a like distance. We're all connected and we're all one anyway. So the more you operate within that oneness, the more oneness shows up for you. I don't mean to sound kind of cryptic about it, but it's I'm finding the deeper I'm going behind the veil, the more I'm sounding like Yoda. It's like, it's kind of this, but it's kind of not. All right. I'm drinking a peaches and cream oolong this morning. And even with the cold water, it's pretty delicious. All right. So, what did we pull? This card answers our question. Where does our attention need to be? What facet of our relationship with our life really needs our attention? And The card on the bottom of the deck represents how we're getting in our own way. What are we in resistance to or in denial of that is keeping us from being able to engage with what the answer was? The King of Pentacles reversed. So these cards have prompts written on them. I'm going to read directly from that prompt, and I'm not going to influence your initial interpretation of what this card means to you. Okay. If you are also pulling cards for yourself, because this is a collective reading, you can dial it into your personal flow as well. You can put them in the comments. That's what you're seeing in the comments there. The reason we do this is that this is another one of those wonderful ways that we get that sweet, sweet validation about us being a lot more connected than we have been made to believe. I am connected to my cat in uncomfortable ways right now. Baxter. The downside to a fluffy familiar. Okay. Are we ready? You need to evaluate your relationship with money and ask yourself if you're currently at a healthy place. Are you overspending? Do you have an emergency savings fund? Draw upon your self-discipline to save for the future while also enjoying the fruits of your labor. Be careful to avoid being a workaholic. Make time for family and friends while enjoying the hustle. Don't be so stubborn. And the upright, because it's about the whole card, you are confident and successful, finding many opportunities to attract and manage wealth. You've achieved great things and can finally say you've reached the pinnacle of your achievements. Sit back and enjoy the fruits of your labor. So what does this card mean to you? I will also be sitting and brewing with this, okay? You brew too, boo. Okay. What's interesting is a conversation with my son is coming up. I had a conversation with my youngest, and uh, he seems to have inherited the overachiever in me, aspects of myself. And he's always been very driven. And so, and when he like sets his mind to something, he does the thing. And there's a period of his life just after he launched and he, had a place of his own and doing the whole like adult thing. And he was just working all of the time and, saving money, great, but he's working all of the time. And I had to ask him, I was like, number one, why are you doing this? Why are you working to the point of exhaustion? And like, why are you doing this to yourself, son? And he kind of had it in his head that that's what you're supposed to do, that you needed to have this like savings. Yes, great savings, wonderful, right? When you're able to be in that position. But if you are not actually enjoying your life, what are you doing? What are you working for? Right? You can't live your life. And this is what I told him. I always say do what you want, but you can't live your life for a future of like, I I will be happy when I have this, right? I will work myself to the bone until I have this, and then I'll enjoy it. Then I will uh, allow myself some simple pleasures. It is a very, very capitalistic way of looking at things. It's very, what that ends up doing is you forget who you are. You forget that life is about participating. And if the only thing that you're participating in and allowing yourself to like experience, it has to be like toward like savings. This is different than like, I have a dream that I am working toward and I'm like, this is the dream. But even if you have that, if you are not including your participation in things that you enjoy, and if it's money that you're saving and you don't have like the money to do things that don't fucking cost money that you enjoy. That's like, yeah, it's good to be alive. If you're not actually creating moments where you can sit back and be like, yeah, it's good to be alive, right? This is exciting. Saving for your future, working toward your future can be really exciting too. It doesn't always have to be this grind. Okay. So that now I'm going to feel into it and see if there's anything more. Um, no, it really does feel like even if you do have this dream, right, that you're just frantically working toward, and all else is being like backburnered because you're working toward this, it's so important for you to remember those that love you, those that you love too. And if you're not including time to nurture those relationships, even just a little bit, even if it's just a hey, thinking about you. If you, and I know that we get into this like ADHD, out of sight, out of mind, hyper focus, got to do the thing. If you have to set alarms in your goddamn phone to get you to just like nurture those relationships, because when you do achieve this thing, you're going to be on your fucking throne all by yourself. Do you really want that? That's not what you want, right? You It's so important for you to nurture your relationship with yourself by doing things that you enjoy. That's like, it's good to be alive, and nurturing your relationships with others as you are on this path toward great abundance. Okay? That's hard. This is a hard thing to ask of somebody. It's a hard thing. I understand how difficult it is. So this is kind of this like gentle reminder that, okay, now we got to look at what we're in resistance to or in denial of that is influencing our ability to, with this abundance thing. The Emperor reversed is very difficult to not let my face uh, influence your interpretation of this card. So I'm trying to like remain really neutral. I'm going to read the prompt that's written on the card, and then you. Okay, so this is why you're having a hard time balancing this stuff. Okay, ready? In a reverse position, the Emperor is a sign of abuse of power. You may be dealing with some manipulative forces that are rendering you powerless. Watch out for any energy vampires. You're finding that typical structures and rules don't seem to be in place, and there's a total loss of control. Try to focus on correcting the tailspin. Okay? And now the upright, because it's about the whole card. You are in control and your hard work has brought you great rewards. You find yourself taking on new responsibilities. Now is a great time to take on projects or hobbies requiring more mental fortitude. Remember, this is what you're in resistance to or in denial of. That's influencing specifically your, like that image of rising to the throne, like you're on your way to this like really abundant place. And how you do that is important. Anyway, so the Emperor is coming up. Ooh. And my battery is going down. But I'm prepared because this kind of shit happens to me all the time. Draining batteries, guys. Here we go. All right. Oh. Yeah. The Emperor. Okay. So this feels very like teeter-tottery. Why am I getting so many pop-ups? That's fun. Anyway, this feels really like teeter-tottery with this internal external influence of the Emperor. So I'm going to talk about both of them first. So if you are in resistance or in denial of, could be that you have a boss or someone in a position of power or authority that is making you like work this hard, that is you're not able to nurture those relationships or not able to enjoy your life because you have this like tyrannical influence, right? That could be the situation. It could be that someone is abusing their power and you're tolerating it in some way. You're not looking at it. You're in resistance or in denial of the fact that it is tyrannical for them to ask the things of you that are being asked of you. Okay. So that could be one way. The other way that it could be is an internal thing. And I talk about this a lot in my grimoire, right? That you are not your body, you are not your mind, and you are not like your energetic body. You are the observer, the one that makes the decisions about what this system does in this human incarnation based on the sensory information that you receive from your physical and energetic bodies, right? So you as the advocate for your system have decided that you are going to apply yourself to this path toward abundance, right? That rise to the throne. You've made that decision. How are you going about that, right? Are you being a tyrant to your system? Are you like abusing your power by not taking into consideration the needs of your mind, body, and spirit as you are rising to the throne? You see, if you are being a tyrant to yourself, that's some deep release work, some shadow work we want to probably take a look at of why are you treating yourself like that? Why aren't you allowing yourself to enjoy your life? Why are you not allowing yourself to be around people that support you and that you care about? Why are you pouring yourself into this so hard? So what's happening? This pull is very much feels very control, your relationship with control. I wouldn't necessarily say super masculine, though a patriarchal, hierarchical approach is what you're engaging with, and it's fucking your shit up. Like you're doing it, but you're working real hard. You don't have to work that hard. Yeah. So Leanne, it's like what we do is help witches like yourself who are like, I want to do something local to support my local community. We help you do that because doing that is a lot. And we don't want you to burn out because the work that you do is important to all of us. So, and to your community. Anyway, that was a bit of a side quest, but this is a really, really pokey reading, guys. But the good news is you're rising to the throne, guys. The abundance is coming. It is here. You're feeling it, but you're feeling the work that comes with that too. And just remember that how you do this is just as important as getting the thing done. All right. Doing this in a way that you are proud of is going to make that harvest a celebration with the people that you care about. Doing this in a tyrannical way is going to make it to where when you do the harvest, you're harvesting on your own by yourself. No one to celebrate with because you've sacrificed that relationship or those relationships for this abundance. And that's not what you really want. Right? That's just the only way you've ever been taught how to do it. Okay. That's our reading for the day. I'm going to be back tomorrow morning to do the same thing. I'm going to, and we're going to do the reading. I might not like ramble on for the first 20 minutes like I did with this one, but I might. I don't know. I'm not making any promises because a lot can happen between now and then. And I like to share my life with you guys. I think that's kind of a part of this, right? And that's one of the things why I'm so excited about the Wednesday night book club thing we're doing in the app, where I'm reading from my grimoire and then we hang out and I can talk to you about all of the things that we're doing in this massive ecosystem we got going on that we want to invite you into. And it's going to be a great place for you to be able to, like, again, ask the questions that you're needing to ask. All right. Let's close out this working. Hand on your heart and take a deep breath. This working is now closing, but the magic has just begun. I humbly thank the elements and both the moon and sun. To all who chose to bless this flow, I now sincerely thank you. May our practice be expansive and our course be clear and true. All right, witches. Until tomorrow, remember, if you can't be good at it. I'll see ya. Bye.